So I think we have a quorum. All right, we're going to carry on. Hey, Michael. The Yoga Sutras. So, just a little bit of background about how this book came to be. I think it's in the intro. I don't really know where I learned this. Um, but these are actually lectures that Swami Satchidananda gave, and they were recorded. I mean, he didn't sit down and write this book. He spoke the lessons in here. And every once in a while I read one and I'm like, he was having a weird day. Because I have my own version of weird days. I feel like when I'm, teaching and it's like, oh yeah, okay, well, hopefully that wasn't being recorded. Well, I found this chapter to be a little bit weird. What I'm going to talk about is just like sort of the essence of this. I did some other reading and I've done some reading in the past on the topic of Satya, which is translated as truthfulness. So if you hear me talking about things that might not be in the translation we're reading, I'm going off script here. I am going to read what the sutra says. It says, to one established in truthfulness, actions and their results become subservient. Which is a little bit weird. It's like, well, what does that mean? To one established in truthfulness, actions and their results become subservient. So, one of the other readings that I did actually explained this in a way that was really powerful for me. So, the word Satya comes from the root sat, which is in a lot of yoga words, satsang, for example. And the translation of sat is many, but it's really the true nature of reality a lot of times, like that version of truth, not sort of based around the idea of being factual all the time, but really seeing the true nature of how things are. And what happens for me, and I think for most of us as humans, is our experience colors our interpretation of events in humans and reality. And there's this kind of veil of our experience between us and what's actually happening. And so to be able to actually see the truth, the true nature of what's happening is challenging, especially when we're caught up in emotion and reaction. So if we're established in truthfulness from that perspective, actions and their results become subservient. So an example might be, we'll use the same old traffic example that I use a lot. You're driving down the road and somebody's driving like a crazy person and being aggressive and rude or even dangerous. And what we see is maybe not the whole truth of what's going on with that person. So if we could see the truth of what's happening in that person, we might not think their actions are so clear. We may not be able to jump to conclusions. The actions might not lead us to the same conclusions if we really knew what was going on. And the same is true in all of our personal relationships. So people say unkind things, and the truth might be that they're hurting versus they want to make me feel bad. Subconsciously, they might want to make me feel bad because they're hurting. But really, the truth is there's something bigger than what's happening in the moment. And this is really what our practice helps us distinguish. So if we can pause between the action and our reaction, maybe understand a little bit more of the real truth of a situation, then maybe our actions are coming from really what's happening and not our own emotional response. The other thing that I want to say about Satya while we're on the topic is there's a hierarchy in the yamas, the way I've been taught them, where the yama we were taught last week, ahimsa, nonviolence, trumps truthfulness. So if you have a choice between sharing truth that's hurtful and not sharing at all, it's typically a better choice to not share. And Swami Satchidananda says in this translation, he says, you don't want to tell white lies. So instead of saying, I don't know the answer, if somebody asks you something that you think would be hurtful, maybe there's a tactic that says, I prefer not to say. Like, that's the truth. You prefer not to say. So just good food for thought here around truth and how we live a truthful life. Seeking truth. Seeking the true nature of reality. And what he shares, and a lot of teachers share around this, is if we live from a place of truth, life is a whole lot easier. Lies beget lies and cover-ups, and trying to just remember who we lied to and what we said, and just, oh wow, so much suffering around trying to keep it all up once we start telling untruths. So let's practice distinguishing what's real and not real. All right, so we're gonna sit or recline, your choice, even stand. And create your posture for some stillness. You're invited to close or lower your eyes if you haven't already. Feel into your foundation. Feel into your breath as well. Inquire into what's actually happening right here, right now. Without all the layers of meaning or worry or story on top. It's kind of sense into the physical experience of what's actually happening right now. The physical reality. Consider what it might mean to seek the truth, starting with right here. Consider the simplicity of truth. No matter what's happening in your life outside this moment, right now, you are okay. If you aren't experiencing okayness, let's get curious about what you're adding to what's right here that might be creating that. If you're experiencing pain in your body, what are you adding on to what's actually here? Maybe there's some pain in your heart, sadness or grief. Which is real and okay. The story on top of it might be what causes the most suffering. A mantra I use sometimes in my practice is just this. Just this breath. What if your whole day was full of just this moments? Just doing laundry, just working outside, just doing dishes without anything added. Can you be in I don't know and I don't need to know? How's this? Take a very real breath in and out. Do that again. Feel the breath in and out. And then when you're ready, open your eyes. Insights, questions, comments? All right. I hope you have a lovely, very truth-filled day. Namaste.